What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Chocolate Broadcast, and today we have some huge animation news for the regular show Lost Tapes show. Yes, that's right. After years off the air, Mordecai and Rigby are returning in a brand new revival titled regular show The Lost Tapes, and while we didn't get any footage, unfortunately, today because the UK Cartoon Network page decided to take down the countdown thing that was leading to a trailer, we did get some news like a new poster, what the show's about, and how many episodes it's going to be, along with its premiere schedule and what it's going to be premiering on. So first things first, regular show The Lost Tapes is officially premiering with a special half-hour episode on May 11th across Cartoon Network's global channels. That's the kickoff to a brand new run of the series, and this revival is being created once again by the original mastermind himself, J.G. Quintel, who is returning as executive producer alongside the original creative team at Cartoon Network Studios. And here's the big number: the new season is set to run for 44 episodes. That's not a limited special, that's not a mini-series, that is a full-scale comeback, so that is good to see and both hear from the creators themselves today. For anyone who might be new or for longtime fans who need a refresher, regular show follows best friends Mordecai and Rigby, two slackers working at a local park, and their jobs seem simple, but somehow every single day turns to absolute chaos, whether it's fighting supernatural monsters, time travel disasters, or just trying to not get yelled at by their boss, Benson. And we also got word that the whole gang is back. Skips, Pops, Muscle Man, High Five Ghost, and Benson along with Mordecai and Rigby. So this revival is very much rooted in the original world fans fell in love with and will be taking place in between, the premiere and the finale. So as it says, it's directly Lost Tapes. Now let's talk about the poster, because even without footage, there are some interesting details here. The image shows Mordecai and Rigby driving in that classic golf cart, wearing some sunglasses, holding some boba, and looking like they're in full classic regular show mode. And I think this is pretty important because the tone here feels very intentional. They're not doing some dark and gritty mess. They're not overly redesigning the characters. And it's not a reboot. It's exactly the show that we know and love. It looks exactly how we remember it. And that suggests something pretty big here, because this revival is aiming to feel like a continuation, not a reinvention, which is what fans were kind of concerned about when it got announced. Even the title, like I said, Lost Tapes, hints at that idea that these are going to be stories from the original era that we never got to see before, almost like hidden episodes being uncovered years later. Now, I do want to talk about when we'll get that first trailer, because, like I said, it was supposed to be today, and I even made a video last Friday, I believe, talking about it, and it was up, and it had a premiere date of 8 a.m., and it never came out. Like I said, they privated the video on the UK page, and so I don't know if this is maybe supposed to build up some hype, and maybe the trailer's actually come out in April, or maybe that first week of May before the show premieres. I don't know. Now, the studio also had a lot to say today as well. According to Vanessa Brookman, the return of regular show is meant to honor the original while bringing something fresh to new audiences. She described the show as, quote, a cultural lightning bolt defined by bold humor, unforgettable characters, and a distinctive visual style, end quote. And she emphasized that this revival is about introducing the series to a new generation of fans while still respecting what made the original so iconic, which is probably the best way that you should do something like this. Another big piece of news is that the original voice cast is returning. J.G. Quintel, William Salyers, Sam Marin, Mark Hamill, Minty Lewis, Janie Haddad Tompkins. So this isn't just a revival in name once again. This is the real deal. They are just straight up bringing it back. There's no games, there's no goofs. We still have to watch the episodes to see if they're really good, but with the original voices, the original creators, and the original tone, this is looking to be really special. Now, on the business side of things, this announcement makes a lot of sense. At its peak, regular show drew nearly 2.5 million weekly viewers in the United States and around 4 million weekly viewers internationally. And in 2025 alone, the series pulled 59 million monthly views across their YouTube live streams, TikTok, and Instagram. That is a massive engagement for a show that ended way back in 2017, which is almost a decade now. So from a network perspective, this comeback was kind of going to be inevitable. We already know, especially with Cartoon Network, what they've been putting out and not been putting out, that they need to go back in that barrel. Now, I do want to address the elephant in the room as well, because even though we got a release date and a full episode count and a returning cast and poster, they have an unusual release schedule, because even though you would think it would air on HBO Max directly after, or maybe even some weird service like Tubi or something like that, we're getting no airtime. When it drops, it's, gonna clearly hit hard, but I wonder how many people are actually gonna be able to watch it, because they're not gonna include it in their live streams. And it kind of feels like that's a little odd move for me. I was expecting to watch this directly the day after. I figured, kind of like how Paramount Plus does a lot of their shows, where something will air on CBS a Sunday night, but you can watch it Monday morning, for example, like at 8 a.m. or something like that. But it seems like they're going a very weird route where they said later on in the year. So with this premiering in May, I'm expecting maybe October, November, which means a lot of fans like myself probably won't even be watching this when it premieres. But I want to hear from you guys. Are you guys excited for regular show The Lost Tapes? Do you think this is going to be a true continuation or just some nostalgia bait? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, this is the Chocolate Broadcast, bringing you the latest in movie, TV, and animation. And with that, I'll catch you guys on the next one.